One of the most brutal killers of a lot of relationships, marriages, etc., is codependency. Codependency is so many different definitions of it, but our desire to be accepted, to be liked, our willingness to go along when things even don't feel good inside in a relationship, our fear of rejection, and all of these things combined create this codependent nature. And in relationships, we have a tendency to play that out over and over and over again, especially because in the beginning of most relationships, people just aren't honest. Hi, I'm David Essel, and this dishonesty, this willingness to go against our gut feeling, our intuition, the fear of actually talking to someone about how we're feeling. I'm not sure I really want to go down this path that we're going financially or sexually or with the way we're raising our kids or whatever it might be, our faith. We have a tendency to mute our desires, and it's something that absolutely will destroy marriages, but maybe even more importantly than destroying the marriage, it destroys the person. I've worked over the last 20 plus years with many people with codependent issues, serious codependent issues, and I want to share one story, a remarkable comeback story. A woman married 30 years, had raised several children, and at the end of the 30-year marriage just said, you know what, there's something really wrong here. Her and her husband at the time had not communicated well for about 29 and a half of the 30 years. They had the front to the outside world, just like all of us do, that things are fine, things are great. The front to the kids, and the kids didn't buy it at all. There was addictions going on, and the codependency, of course, is a brutal addiction. I shared with her and many of the other clients I've worked with that codependency, don't be fooled. Codependency, the desire for acceptance, the fear of rejection, the willingness to go against what we know inside is right for us, is just as powerful as a heroin addiction or alcoholism or a serious smoking addiction. It's that brutal. So this woman came to me, and it was just before she was going to go through the divorce, and they had been separated. They were living in separate places, and she came, and I even forget how I met her, but she said, I'm really ready to do some very deep, intensive personal growth work. She had worked with therapists before. She had done a lot of different great stuff, but had never gotten to the core. Believe it or not, had never gotten to the core of this incredibly serious addiction of codependency. Now I'm going to stop for a second and tell you that this is normal. Unfortunately, it's normal for many couples to be in codependent relationships. In the year and a half or so, maybe even 2 years that we worked together, she went through the divorce, ended up having a lot of different challenges with her children, adult children, because of the divorce itself and because of all of the codependent nature that she had with them as well. You see, when we are codependent in nature, we'll be codependent in the workplace, at home, with our parents, we'll be codependent with our partners, our children. It's our friends, all over the place. Now, I told you before we're going to get to some good news. The good news is that now we have to remember that this is a 30-year pattern, and she was probably highly codependent with her mom, dad, and brothers and sisters for years before that, so it could have been a 50-year pattern. But in about a year and a half to 2 years of intensive work, she is free, if not 100%, pretty darn close to it. The way she's living her life right now is unbelievable. The choices she's making in friends, the inner peace she feels right now, the willingness to let her children go and come back and flow. I mean, she's absolutely in the ebb and flow of life. She's not doing things to try to control people, high codependent nature. She's not doing things just to try to manipulate, to try to have people like her. I mean, the changes have been unbelievable. But she also put the work in. The other day, when I was talking to her, she said, my attorney and all these other people were saying, oh my God, I can't believe in the last year and a half how greatly you've changed. And she goes, well, I give it to my life coach, David. He's the one that's helped me. And I said, wait a second. We don't want to create codependency here, right? I said, wait a second. Who's the one that showed up every week to do the work? She goes, I am. And who's the one that consistently is willing to be rejected by people in society as if it doesn't feel right to go along with what they're doing or asking you to do? She goes, I am. I said, so take the credit. Take the credit. Codependency. Now, we have a whole video here on YouTube on codependency, and codependency is absolutely brutal, and it destroys relationships. But more importantly, believe it or not, it destroys who we are. It destroys our sense of self, our self-esteem, our confidence. If you know someone right now who's in an unbelievably unhealthy relationship, doesn't matter if it's with a lover, if it's with children, if it's with their parents, please share this, because codependency goes across the board. And most of us, if we have it in one area of life, we probably have it in others as well. Now, if I can help you, visit us at talkdavid.com, talkdavid.com. This is an area specialty of ours. Any type of addiction recovery whatsoever is a specialty of ours, and we would love to help you. And don't forget also to sign up at YouTube under Super Slowdown so that every video we do goes directly to you, okay? Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.